So yeah, this is a weird matchup, and I actually struggled with it a lot until actually the beginning of 2020, where I like right after Summit, I kind of like finally put the matchup together, and then, but up until that point, I felt like a little shaky on it actually, and there's not too many Peaches around all the time, so.
Finding like good
And the
Peaches to
biggest
play
problem is that Peach is one of those characters where if you play with your intuition from other matchups, it's like the worst possible way to play.
against. Okay.
So like that is like it's kind of she's a little bit special in that way, and we'll get into exactly why as we go through. Like whenever I play Ryobeat, I basically have this experience that like I'm kind of doing the basic stuff that I would do against every Peach, and he's doing weird reactions to what I'm doing. Like he does all his weird tech skill that's kind of
Yeah, it looked like he was just kind of like spamming tech in place.
yeah, he does
And then
really weird tech skill, but the thing is that like you don't actually have to adapt to that. You can just play normal and it'll actually still beat that. All right, so the biggest thing is understanding that Peach has to kind of so it's really interesting because he basically did 0 dash attacks this game, but dash attack is kind of like required in this matchup for Peach.
Yeah.
So basically, the number one thing that you should write down or whatever for this right here is Dash Dance more. Dash Dance is incredibly powerful against Peach because so Peach is basically this bubble of death that like moves extremely slowly. So if you spend too much time in the bubble, you're gonna get pretty much murdered for it. And so you can kind of stay out of the bubble, but then she has trouble getting you into that range without getting so close that you can unreactably hit her.
Gosh.
So, like, for instance, like a really common thing that'll happen is Peach is dash dancing and you're dash dancing. The only move she has that'll actually hit you out of, like, a dash dance situation is dash attack. That's literally it. None of her other moves will ever reach you, ever, out of a dash dance war.
Okay.
So she'll be doing the dash dance and you do the dash dance. All you have to do is watch out for the dash attack. And what you can do is he can do this and he'll move forward a little bit and you give him a little space. And then he moves forward a little bit more, you give him a little bit more space. And then he moves forward and you just randomly nair him out of his float or you drill him off the ground and then he's in this big combo. That's like the most common neutral interaction in this matchup.
Okay.
And it works without platforms too, which is really good for FD. Because that's basically like what you'll do on FD. This will be pretty much every Peach to play like this. Is like the basics, like just literally just doing this without actually doing the rest of the matchup is just like if they do this, you give up space, and then when they approach, you just kind of randomly jump in on their approach. So a big mistake that people make against Peach is trying to whiff punish her. Then that is what you don't want to play around the whiff punish. The entire matchup is played around the fact that she has trouble catching you, and if she chases you, you can lash out and hit her. That's the entire matchup.
Okay.
There is no, with the exception of dash attack, you're basic, and like very rarely down smash, but sometimes down smash, you're not going to get opportunities to like whiff punish. Like it'll happen every now and then, but you can't have it as like the basis for the matchup. It's like pretty rare because she's so, she's like, I'm gonna fair down smash, so come in and try to react and punish my forward air, and it's like it's just not usually a good plan. Okay. And then you finally do come in and try to whiff punish the forward air, and she just shields and then shield grabs you or something.
Yeah.
So don't go for whiff punishes. You're going to entirely prevent Peach from coming close to you by occasionally like jumping at her. That is like the basis. The other thing is obviously full hops, which we can get into. But so the dash dance is super, super important. Yeah, so the goal of your dash dance is to be like, if she's just heavy committed to sitting here and she's not even trying to move forward at all, just shoot a laser every couple seconds and then keep dash dancing. But the idea, so Peach is the worst top tier in the game in the corner. She's awful in the corner. And I know it's scary because she has down smash, but she only has down smash. She does not have, and I guess she has back throw, but she is very, very bad in the corner. And the main reason for this is that the majority of her good moves hit you forward or up and forward. And so if she's in the corner and let's say she nairs you, then you just go to the other side of the stage and you're totally fine.
Yeah.
But if you're in the corner and she nares you, you go off stage, and then she gets to set up for an edge guard, which could actually kill you.
Okay.
So when you're in this situation and she can't approach you, and so what you can do is you don't always just want to give up space, because if you give up space like 3 times in a row, then you're in the corner and she's in center.
Yeah.
So what you can do is, if you can sometimes take a little space, like if she's here, if she's here and you're here, you can take a little space and then like basically continue camping her, but from a better, more central position. Like, she can only attack you from this little range where she dash attacks. Like, if she's standing here, it's kind of like right here is like her dash attack range. It's actually way shorter than you think, because the majority of the dash attack is actually like weak. It's only this little startup that's actually like good at beating Fox and like actually hits you up. Because remember, the later hitbox hits you out, so you'd be fine anyway.
Yeah.
So the idea is basically, you don't, like, let's say you're in this position and she's over here. You don't have to wait here for her to float over to punish her approaching. You can actually take space to here because you're still safe, and then you have more room to retreat to if you need it. So basically the idea is like, it's okay to close space against Peach, but then after you close the space, then you kind of still continue camping her in her face. This is like the basis of everything. So it's basically, don't be afraid to take space, but when you take space, just be aware that you're still, the goal is to still get out of her range and convince her to approach you. She mostly will get approaches when she'll be doing this dash dance, and then Fox gets scared, thinks she's going to dash attack, and then shields, and then she floats like this, and he goes, oh no, now I let her float at me, and then she gets like a nair down smash on the shield or something like that, and you don't want that. So you want to only hit her when she doesn't expect it, so you kind of want to give her this feeling of like, oh, I just can't catch Fox, I'm taking a little damage here and there, I can't catch him, and then she gets a little frustrated, overcommits a little bit, and then literally the more random your attack is, the better. Don't try to find a good time to attack, always attack at the weirdest moment. And it is the only thing that is strong against her, because if you attack at a moment that makes sense, she can protect herself against anything. But she has to pretty heavily commit to like actually. So the thing is Peach can't really dash back to avoid Fox. So if you throw out anything, she has to protect herself with an aerial or a shield. Those are her only options to actually protect herself. She can't protect herself by running away. So she's kind of stuck in the position she's at. And you can, like basically she's just stuck throwing out moves in place. But if you approach when she thinks you're going to, the moves in place will hit you. And so you just kind of have to be like, look, I'm not going to interact. And then she's like, okay. So she starts basically taking it for granted that you're not going to interact and that she has to catch you. And when she does that, she lets go of her spacing a little bit and you can hit her. That's true of every Peach. Not whiff punishing. This was the other one. Peach is the worst top tier in the game, not only in the corner, but off the ledge. So if you get this situation, consider this basically like a knockdown. Peach doesn't have good options from the ledge. So like, for instance, if you are edge guarding Peach, your goal is, in the worst case, like let's say you miss your entire edge guard, your goal is for her to grab ledge. Like, if she, like, let's say you're edge guarding her and she umbrellas and she gets back to ledge, you haven't lost the situation. Peach can be ledge trapped because she doesn't have a ledge dash. And she doesn't have very good get up option. So, like, when Peach grabs the ledge, this is awful for her. It's horrendous. This is, like, the worst situation Peach can be in. And honestly, as my Peach, what I'll normally do is I'll refresh with Umbrella a few times, or refresh with Double Jump, and then I'll just literally, like, roll on and hope they miss it. Like, it's very awful, and she does not have good options at all. So as soon as she is on the ledge, her get-up attack reaches to about here. Literally just stand here, and she's, like, in shambles. Like, she is actually, this is the equivalent, like, Peach being here. No, because notice, like, I don't know if you know, because you haven't played against the character a lot, she doesn't get her float back, or
when she
her
grabs edge, right?
Yeah, she doesn't get her float back when she grabs edge. So this, like, when Peach is in the air, it's a game of resources. Your goal is actually not to hit Peach in the air ever. Your goal, when she's like high up, your goal is to use her resources. So let's say Peach is floating up here or something like that, or off stage. Your goal is not, oh, I need to hit Peach out of her float. The goal is, well, she's on a time limit, so eventually her float will run out and she has to come back to stage. So you can just kind of stand here and wait for the float to run out. The big mistake people make is they try to full hop out and shine, like Peach's float here or something, and then she just
drift back,
and then they drift back, and then you're stuck here, and you have to double jump, and then they drift in and they air dodge to the ground or whatever, and they're safe. But you don't ever have to do that. You can literally just stand right here, get ready to up tilt, get ready to back air, get ready to shine if she goes to ledge, prevent her from going high. She'll eventually be forced to ledge, and she has no options. So the fact that you get her to ledge and then you retreat with this is really, really bad. You're giving up on basically like an ideal situation. And honestly, okay, a big part of the Peach matchup is like she'll get up and you hit her, and then she, like, let's say she gets up and you up smash her, and she flies off stage, and then she has to repeat this same situation again and again and again and again until she literally loses her stock. Like, I've taken entire stocks worth of damage and eventually killed out of getting to Peach to ledge at literally this %.
Oh, okay.
Like, you can ledge trap her like it's ultimate, and you can just do that over and over, and she actually has no way back. This is like the worst part of her character.
Okay. Because I knew it was bad, I just didn't know like how.
No, it's horrendously bad.
To like abuse it, you just like wait for her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You literally wait for her, and she has no options to get back without getting hit again, and you can just keep sending her back to that spot until she's actually built up enough damage to like die. Most of the time, before she dies, she'll take enough damage that she flies up really high, and then that's why they do that high float back, because you can't really prevent them from floating back high.
Yeah.
Regardless, when they float back really high, your goal is always, I tell this to people in every single matchup, even in Peach Dittos, don't let the Peach get more center than you. People have this idea of like, I need to keep Peach off stage when she's up high, and then what they do is they go, oh, well, she kind of passed, like, maybe she's over this side platform, like right here. And people will be like, oh, well, she passed the ledge. Like, I might as well just, like, you know, throw something out. Or they run underneath and try to up air, and then Peach just gets over here. The goal is to just have more center than Peach. So if Peach is here, you can be here, and you're winning. If Peach is here, and she's floating above the stage, you can be here and you're still winning, or on the top platform and you're still winning. Just don't, like, just hold the center as much as possible, and even if she gets somewhat back, just be more central than her. And this is very, very bad for her.
Yeah.
So something that most people do not do against Peach, and is actually extremely important for beating her, is watch her float drift. This is super important. It's the equivalent of watching someone dash dance, where if Peach is in place and she wants to come at you, she actually has to accelerate forward, and you'll have a chance to recognize that and either move backwards, move under, or attack her.
Okay.
And another thing is, when Peach is at this height, a surprisingly good option is wave dash in turnaround up tilt, or even wave dash under up tilt. If Peach is ever floating like this and you can get directly underneath her, and up tilt, she is extremely disadvantaged. This is really rough for her when this happens.
Would it up tilt hit? I feel like it's kind of high.
No, the up tilt doesn't hit, but it'll hit her if she tries to fall, and it's very difficult for her to react in between the up tilts to drop onto you. And most of the time, what'll happen is, if she stays floating and you just jump up and hit her, then she's just gonna get hit out of the air and she's in a bad spot. So most of the time, when she detects your forward movement, she'll drop out of float, and then you just move in and hit her. Another thing you can do is move in kind of like to here and do an up tilt, because a lot of time that's not quite as consistent, but a lot of times she's like trying to move towards you, and what'll happen a lot of times, she'll be like right here on the ground, and you can just turn around up tilt, because she's usually like, I finally caught Fox, he's this close to me, and she'll try to float in at you, and you can just up tilt her out of that. You don't really want to do these big approaching full hops against her. If you're gonna do full hops, they need to be ones like where you're really close to her on the ground, and they're mostly vertical. If you're gonna do this full hop, you always want to just go to the platform here. This full hop is fine, but you can't like approach like this. Okay, so notice, yeah, the part, don't wave dash in grounded movement pretty much ever as Fox against any character. Wave dash is actually like awful unless you're setting up for the up tilt. If you're not
really?
setting up for the up tilt, wave dash is actually trash.
Why? It just takes time.
It puts you in a not actionable state for like a while, like 10 frames plus jump squat, so it's like literally like 14 frames or something like that. Or 13. It's 13 frames, I think, of lag basically when you decide to do the first jump, and you can't change your trajectory like during your wave dash, and it's slower than dash. Like it's actually just slower, and so if you're in dash, you can shield, you can jump, you can turn around and dash the other way. You can do literally anything in dash. You can up smash, you can do anything in dash, but you can't do anything during wave dash, and it's slower. So it's actually like completely worthless unless you're setting up for an up tilt. That's the only time it's worthwhile. You get this, you see this dash attack. Also, this is something that's really funny. When Peach dash attacks your shield, you actually have so much time that you can just let go of shield and then punish her if you want. Whenever she dash attacks, this move has so much end lag, you have tons of time to punish. But because you wave dash in, you give her all this time, and then you're not close enough. So if you had just dashed back in, you get a free grab, you get a free drill, you get a free anything. But because of this wave dash movement, you're stuck in a really not the spot you wanted, and you get jabbed. Okay. Even despite this incredibly annoying, or like you have this really big punish window on her that she's very scared of, and then so you just have to make sure to take advantage of that when it happens.
Gotcha.
When Peach down smashes like this, you get to set up one of your best situations on Peach, which is the drill on the back of her shield. So most of the time, I mean, there's a chance you could have like run up grabbed this or something, or run up smashed, or drilled it maybe, or something like that. If you can react and short hop drill this in time, that's good for you. But I'm like assuming maybe you kind of react when Peach's down smash is like almost near its end, like it's pretty fast and you don't really expect it, and she's kind of nearing the end. What you want to do is full hop, make it ambiguous which side of her you're gonna land on, and then secretly always land on the back or almost always land on the back. If you can land this drill on the back of her shield, you have one of the most annoying pressures on Peach, and most people do not know about it. This is the Fat Goku pressure, and the idea is that you drill the back of her shield and you don't shine. This is very important. Do not shine. What you do is you drill again. This is like the most frustrating pressure for Peach, is Fox drill on the back of the shield and then just literally no shine. Because if you shine, what they'll do is they'll try to roll. The shine will hit them out of the way. It'll hit them and you won't be able to react and actually punish them. And they'll just get out. But if you drill and they're shielding and you drill again, they don't realistically have any options that will actually like get away from you in a way that lets them threaten you. It's not like you can do it every single time, but you can do it every single time and not get punished.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So it's like you might not get an opening every time, but you can just, it's so frustrating, especially when you're at kill percent, when Peach is at like 100 or something and Fox is just drilling the back of your shield over and over. It's a nightmare. It's actually a nightmare. Okay. This is the equivalent of like, this literally is like, I'm pretty sure this is literally laggier than Fox like up smashing here. So it's like,
that puts things into perspective.
Right, like just imagine someone whiffs like their laggiest move here. You need to be down to punish this every time, and if you're jumping away or you're in kind of like an inactionable state, you're not going to get it. Whereas if you dash dance here, you're always in a position to punish this. Like, okay, like just look at how long this is. Look at how insanely long this thing is.
Okay.
The European foxes are really good. Whenever they're scared here, if they're scared, they just full hop straight up, and then in the worst case, they can drift to platform, and in the best case, they get a potential opening if Peach dash attacks here. And I think
Yeah.
that's a really good option. The European foxes are all really, really good at full hopping onto Peach. So look at this. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12. So wait, so that's like 32 or something like that? Okay. So, yeah, this is like another situation where like he dash attacks your shield and you're like, like I have to hurry and punish with like my fastest move, but like look at how much lag he still has, you know?
Yeah.
You actually could have almost gotten him with the full hop drill there. After every wave shine on Peach at lower or mid percents, the answer is always up tilt. Wave shine reverse up tilt is your biggest friend in this matchup. Yeah, and notice that if you're... So this is okay, but you haven't... In this spot, you're approaching Peach. Like, this hasn't been established that she's chasing you. So this... I was just talking about European foxes. So this up tilt only works when you've established that she is chasing you. Otherwise, it's just basically, like, doing bad... Like, this is the equivalent of just, like, up airing in place here or something. Like, it doesn't really do anything. She's not pressured to come in. She's preparing to defend her corner space from you approaching. And so, yeah. So these are kind of worthless, and that's why, you know, so she just gets, like, the whiff punish. Don't give up space here. Like, remember, Peach's threat range is literally here.
Yeah.
This is it. So you're chilling. You're like, big chilling right here. So there's no reason to, like, give up this space and start lasering here when you could be just... I wouldn't actually laser here, but you could be doing the dash dance stuff right here.
Yeah,
and make her very, very uncomfortable. And the other thing is Peach has to wave dash a lot in her movement. She can't just dash dance all over the place. And so a lot of times if you do these random attacks, you'll actually find that you hit her during her wave dash. Oh, it came up right there. But you nared it. The nair... So you kind of have to look for tendencies against Peach. You can't really react to what she's doing because she'll be floating and not floating at like various windows. But what you can do is kind of look for tendencies because remember she has to approach you. And so if she's feeling kind of grounded, then you go for the drill. And if she's feeling kind of floaty, then you go for the nair.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because if Peach floats like this, because do you know about subfloat? 99% of the time, he's not going to be subfloating. No one will be subfloating. If Peach does the thing where, like, you know, she holds down and then she presses Y, so she does, like, her low float, this actually is not ASDI downable. Peach is floating, even at her lowest float height, you can always nair it. So this is a really common thing that Peaches do, is they do this, they go up to this height, because the idea is... This float height avoids Fox's short hop aerials entirely. Her legs are actually like up here. So none of your short hop aerials are going to hit her. And honestly, none of your lasers. So what she'll do is she'll use this to approach. And remember what I said, wave dash in here and up tilt. Or just dash dance. What you can do is she actually has quite a bit of travel time to come down here. So something you can do is basically you can mix up wave dash in up tilt with dash in, dash back, and then if she lands, you get that full hop thing right here. But yeah, so like, look, if you had dash dance right here, and then waited, like if you dashed in right here, like you're doing, and then you dash back, without reacting, just dash in, dash back right here, and then you see her doing this, that's when you get this jump over, and you get this drill pressure that we were talking about right here. And then if you had wave dashed under and up tilted, that would have worked too. This is a really common situation you'll see repeat all the time with Peach. But then you do this thing. This is the option that Peach is covering. This is exactly what she wants, where she floats here and she's like, look, I'm here, and she wants you to run in and full hop aerial her so she can drop at you at this diagonal and hit you out of it. So this is the one option you don't want to do, but you can do either of those other two options and be in great shape there every time. Obviously, don't try to shield grab floating aerials, like literally ever.
Yeah.
You can... shine out a shield here a lot of times. Yes, sometimes she can down smash you and stuff like that, but like Peach has all these mix-ups here where she does this into a grab and she does this into a jab, and if you just hold shield, then it'll beat the down smash as long as you angle your shield down, and then you might get a punish.
Okay.
Whereas like So there's like the shine out of shield basically beats like most of her other stuff. Or what you can do is you can shield, you can wait for the first jab, and then you can see like maybe you can like jump or roll after the first jab. There's a bunch of options to do out of this situation. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but like the shine out of shield there is not too bad as long as you're prepared to act out of it if she happens to get this jab off. And yeah, so this is not the roll you want to do. If you're gonna roll. I mean, I guess it's weird because you don't want to roll into the corner, but if you do this, she'll just down smash and you'll get sent off stage anyway. Usually here, it's better to full hop, but if you full hop every time, they'll read it with a full hop nair. Like, basically, you can do anything you want here. They kind of have to do, like, a hard read to get you. It's a situation you don't want to be in, but once you're actually in it, she has to kind of guess perfectly to catch you, and so as long as you, like, mix it up an acceptable amount, you should be pretty okay. Right. These up tilts, these are super good, but don't let him come off this side of the platform because then he has center. Yeah. So these up tilts are great, but what I would do is when you see him kind of moving this way, maybe walk or wave dash to here and up tilt here. Like, just in general, because it's like these are making it really hard to come down. As Peach, this situation feels horrible to come down on. Yeah. And so what you want is for him to not be able to come down to center because then he gets this nice reset and then, oh, look, I'm shield pressuring you and I'm in center. And it's like, okay, so the laser camping, this is okay as long as when he approaches, you're ready. So in this situation, when you move back, see, you're moving back too early. You actually don't want to move back until a little later. Yeah. Because of the small range. But he's just super ultra, like, Kamehameha, like, whiffs it out here, like, way early. But because you're doing this silly short hop thing, you once again can't punish it. Remember, you want to attack Peach when Peach is clearly about to chase you. And in this situation, Peach is in wall mode. Whenever Peach is trying to keep you out by walling, this is not when you want to attack. Okay. So Peach is like, I'm going to wall you, and then shielding and all this stuff. And then, so yeah, this is when you come in. This is a spot. Peach, you can't really punish her for landing here at all. Like, she will literally back air here every time, and you can't predict on her drifts enough to avoid it. So the common response when you're in this spot is to full hop. Because, like, full hop here. Because if she goes underneath the platform, she's now in the corner, and you get to land and corner pressure her. And if she actually drifts in to try to hit you, you can punish with a drill. And either hit with the drill or punish into that pressure that we talked about. But, like, what you want to do here, Peach is doing this down tilt, you want to make Peach work for every inch she gets. That is something you have to keep in mind at all time. If remember, Peach's dash attack hits, like, here. If Peach wants to hit you over here, she better put in the work and move this close. Yeah. And then you move back an inch. Well, if she wants to get you right here, she's got to put in the work and go to here. And then you go, okay, now I'm going to go to here. So you move back to here, and you're like, all right, Peach, you have to put in the work to get to here. And then you go, vroom, and you smack her. Yeah, like, the idea is, like, stage is like currency. You have this amount of space as, like, currency. And what you're doing is you're basically giving away some of your money by moving to here. Okay. And what you want is Peach to have to work really hard to take every inch. Because if she overcommits even slightly on taking the space, you can just hit her. Okay. So you want to make her really try hard and take a while and just finally, like, work you out of her space, and then suddenly you hit her. Okay. That is the biggest thing in this whole matchup. I do this to every Peach, and it's brutal. The game plan. And don't shield.
Don't shield? Okay.
Don't shield when Peach is in the air. You can shield her dash attacks, because if Peach is trying to do that thing where she's slowly taking the space, and you just shield, to actually grab you, or to pressure you with float, she has to close so much more space. It's kind of like a bait. But the thing is if you're shielding, you're not dash dancing, and so it's not quite as good. But during your dash dance, sometimes it's good to just shield and then wave dash back to be like, oh, look, sure would have been nice if you had been close enough to hit my shield. And she's like, and then you can kind of use that. But when she's in this spot and she's floating, you're better off just rolling away from her aerial approach or full hopping out of the way early. So, like, if she's like this, and you feel uncomfortable right here, you could just full hop back here, or wave dash back into the corner, and you're literally totally safe. She can't do anything. Okay. Obviously, this is bad because she was walling. Notice that she wasn't chasing you.
Yeah,
she was waiting.
Yeah.
When she's waiting, never attack ever. Whereas if you rush center and he rushes center, this is kind of bad. Because, like, let's say he floats off here, and then you run to center, and then he tries to come down on you, and you full hop over it, suddenly you're in a great spot.
Okay.
So, and if he goes for this is kind of like a little bit of a greedy opening. It's fine from him. It's a little, but it's not that it's greedy in a bad way, but it's like a very, like, he's not aggressively taking stage. He's like, I'm going to get this turnip, but this gives you the ability to take stage. Like, what if he just did this turnip, and then you immediately, like, ran or, like, short hopped off the platform to here. Suddenly, he's under a ton of pressure.
I have all the space.
So it's okay to be a little aggressive on your openers. Peach is here, doing this, comes down, and you're like, I'll whiff punish the forward air. No. Never. You're never gonna hit that. You'll hit that, like, basically, once you implement this game plan, and you can already beat every Peach on Earth, then you can optimize slightly by occasionally whiff punishing forward air. This is not comfortable for you. So, there's an honest way to play it, and there's, like, a haha, Fox broken way to play it. So the honest way to play this is you're playing that same game with his dash attack, but you're out of space. So it's kind of like your last chance. And if full hopping here is not super recommended, because what they'll do is they'll approach, and then as soon as you full hop, they full hop nair here and hit you out of it.
Yeah,
Armada does that all the time.
Yeah,
at this percent they'll usually full hop up here right here. So what you can do is you can dash dance and then, like, short hop or wave dash down, and then a lot of times they'll react to it and full hop, and then you get the opening. So that is the honest way to play it. Another way is you can just dash dance and run out of the corner and just, basically try to get, like, a cross-up, because Peach can't deal with Fox's cross-ups well without, like, shielding or whatever. So, like, what you can do is kind of be like, come on, come get me. You can shoot a couple lasers, and Peach kind of moves to here, and then you're like, dash, nair, cross-up, and now I'm in center, and I hit your shield, and you can't punish me. Or you drill, and you're on the back of her shield, and she still can't punish you. So that is, like, the honest way to play it. The Super Fox's broken way to play it is you run into the corner. This is like the unfair part of the matchup. This is like Peach has finally gotten you in the corner. Like, she's done it. She's suffered through full hop. She's suffered through lasers. Now it's your time, Fox. You will face your reckoning. And then Fox just goes to ledge and ledge dashes off, and Peach has to move back to center.
Yeah.
So that is what you do in this situation. If you ever just feel like, oh no, like, I'm trapped in the corner, I don't have anything, he's reading me, he's just in my head, and he's just smashing everything, go to ledge and ledge dash, and you win the situation. It's so sad, but it's so true. That wins. It's very, very sad, but it's actually a thing. This is what you don't want to get hit by. If you're ever scared enough to full hop here, just go to ledge and you get off for free. And very, very unhappy Peach man. So yeah, okay. So I used to do this all the time. I'm getting flashbacks from this, where you're like, I have Peach super in the corner, and then you're like, get out of there. Run to the center. Get to the center. I want all the center. And it's like, okay, I mean, you gave up your corner pressure, and then you're like, that's not enough. I'm not satisfied to just give up the corner. I need to give up center too. And you run away. I used to do this. I'm, like, super getting flashbacks. I used to do this every time against Peach. I was like, well, more space can't hurt me. And it's like, yeah, but you have less space behind you. The more space behind you have, that's the important space. The actual space in front of you is not very important. Like here, when you're right here after this wave dash, just do the dash dance. You have this sick pressure here. She is suffering. And then you go to here, you can still play the dash dance game here, and you're like, nah, okay, now I'm going to take this. And when you give Peach this, you've basically given her this center to corner pressure that she got over here, but you gave it to her again for free. If you drill here, and then you drilled again, it'll actually just beat this.
Oh, the spot dodge.
Yes,
Yeah.
it'll actually just catch her, and you would have gotten another drill here. It's sad, but that'll actually be a spot dodge.
Okay.
Aha! 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 Look at this. You do the dash dance game. See, you're lasering. This sure is annoying. Peach goes to here. You back off a little bit. You actually... Obviously, you're not really used to this, but you can actually back off a little later. Look how actually shallow her dash attack is.
Yeah.
So
That's
you can,
probably the biggest takeaway.
So
like
right here, you don't actually have to move back until she's like here. So she's trying to get this. He goes for this super desperate dash attack, but because you're dash dancing now instead of wave dashing, you react super late. Look how far in it he is. And you're like, alright, here I come, I guess I'll just grab. Bam. Oh, you were 1 frame late, but it didn't matter. So, yes, you get this grab here. You get this. Peach actually should never, ever get hit by this up air. It's literally not a real up air at all, and she can just double jump out. Armada does every time. Ryobeat does not. It's sad, but for some reason they don't. I still think it's good to go for the up air because it forces them to double jump, which gets rid of some of their resources. But if you're here and she lands right next to you, this full hop is fantastic. So you want to focus. So this matchup depends very heavily, outside of all these neutral things, look at her kill percent. The more stocks you take against Peach when she is at like 80 to 90 to 100, the better you'll do. And the more you let her live, see, this is really good. The more you let her live, the worse. And if Peach is protecting herself really well and it's hard to kill her, it's actually better to kind of go for super crazy kill moves or like the drills than to go for like back air and grab over and over until she's at like 170. The worst thing as Peach is when you're playing a Fox and they understand that and you're at 75 and they're just literally hunting for the drill wave shine up smash at 75 and you're like, dude, like, can't we just pretend it doesn't kill till 100, you know? And it's like, no, like, when the Fox knows that at 75, drill wave shine up smash literally kills, it's so miserable.
Okay.